Today we're doing some air fryer chicken legs with asparagus and also some white rice. Okay guys, so I have these 2 packs of chicken that I got from Costco. They are already thawed out. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean my chicken. I can get it out of the bag, of course. Same thing with this one. Now you can use thighs, you can use whatever you want. But I'm gonna make kind of like a barbecue jerk chicken kind of thing, but we're doing it in the air fryer. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put water in my bowl here, rinse off that preliminary juice, the brine or whatever. Okay, fill my bowl with water, and then I'm gonna put vinegar in there as well. And I also like to put salt in my water too. That's just my thing. If you want to use lemon, you can use lemon. I use salt and vinegar. So basically what I'm going to do, you can do this skin on or skin off. I'm actually going to do it skin off. So all I'm doing is taking the skin off my chicken just like that. Of course, there's always one piece that's going to give me trouble. If it don't want to come off, I'm not going to fight it, but I'm going to attempt to get this one piece off. There we go. I got it. Some people like to make it with the skin on. It just kind of depends on the recipe. Like if I'm making fried chicken, then definitely I'll keep the skin on. But in a case like this where I'm going to air fry it, and I'm going to use sauce and all that extra fat I don't really need. Okay. I think we got all of the skins off except for this one. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like that. Now, what I also do is on the fatty part, that big meaty part, I'll usually cut right there. Okay, I don't know. I'm just one of those people. I feel like it's not cooked to the bone. This is just for my own thing. Like if there's it's like sometimes you go to the store and you get those really big chicken legs, that kind of thing. I definitely cut it there. But it's your choice, guys. I always say there's no right or wrong way to cooking. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just and now I'm going to use some more cold water. Okay, and then we're just gonna let this sit in the sink here and get our seasonings together. Okay, so for our equipment and seasonings, we're gonna be using our Power XL air fryer. I got this from Walmart, nothing fancy. We're also gonna be using some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, ginger, garlic, butter, which I'm out of my favorite butter, some Tony's, a little bit of roasted garlic and herb, and then I have our Elite Eats jerk rub And then I also have our adobo, which is our Elite Eats adobo seasoning, and some foil paper. So after my meat has been cleaned and it's time to go ahead and start seasoning, like I said in all of my videos, you guys, whatever seasonings you guys decide to use is what you decide to use. I like my food well seasoned, and so does my family. So there's no judgment zone when it comes on to what you use or how you use your seasonings and what you like. The only thing that I will definitely say, ensure that whatever seasonings you use, it has a little bit of salt, and make sure you add a little bit of pepper. If you want to use Mrs. Dash, you can also use that as well. I'm an Elite Eats girl, so we are definitely working on our arsenal of seasonings that we'll be re-releasing soon. Okay, so I'm not a dark meat fan, but my family loves dark meat. And that's what I had on the top of the freezer without having to dig in the freezer. So that's why I decided to use the legs or dark meat rather than using wings or chicken breasts. And of course, dark meat always stays a lot juicier, but I still don't like dark meat. Okay. All right. So after my chicken is all seasoned up and ready, because I'm putting it in the air fryer, I'm not going to add any onions or carrots or anything like that. So it's just going to be more dry rub. And then I'm also adding a little bit of coconut oil to my chicken. Now, what the coconut oil is going to do is, number one, it's going to help get the outside nice and crispy. But number two, it's going to also keep the inside nice and moist. You can use olive oil or coconut oil. It's your choice. Or you don't have to use any oil at all. But I try to stay away from the Pam spray. I feel like that dries the meat out even more. I rather use coconut oil. Also, because I'm putting the chicken in the air fryer, I am using a piece of aluminum foil because I want to, of course, keep my chicken nice and moist. The air fryer is exactly what it's called, guys, an air fryer. So air, number one, and fryer, number two. So the goal, of course, is to crisp anything that you put in there, brown anything that you put in there, and, of course, fry it nice or make it nice and dry. So that's another reason why I improvise and use foil paper and create that cocoon so that I can keep the moisture in the chicken. Now, when it comes on time to put it into the air fryer, you can use the settings on your air fryer. But if you notice, I hit the chicken button and it automatically put the air fryer to 40 minutes. For dark meat, 40 minutes is actually a very long time. So I brought it down to 25 minutes and then I would improvise from there. But it really only took that amount of time. So for our side dish, we're doing some asparagus and I'm also making some white rice. For the asparagus, I like to kind of use the organic asparagus, but I'm not even going to say but. The organic asparagus actually looks like a regular size asparagus, whereas the non-organic asparagus always looks big and bulky, and that tells me that something is just not right. So I like the organic ones that actually comes in a normal size. And then I cut off the ends to get rid of that woody texture, because asparagus typically does have that woody stalk at the end. And then I just take that off and just saute the part that's actually edible. I mean, it is all edible, but you don't want those hard, gritty pieces when you're eating. Okay, so once my asparagus is all cleaned up, I throw some butter in the pan. And then I also throw in some chopped garlic. And I allow the butter just to kind of melt out, and then I will add my asparagus. So the way asparagus works, it cooks very, very quickly. It doesn't take a lot. You don't even need water to cook asparagus. Once you wash your asparagus, which I did, I put it in the pan, and all you have to do is make sure you season your asparagus. You can use salt, pepper, Tony's, whatever. I use some Tony's, a little bit of black pepper, and then a very small amount of our Elite Eats adobo seasoning, very small amount. And then I also put a little bit of our garlic and herb grind in there. And at this point of the process, the asparagus will cook in like 10 minutes or less, you guys. So all you want to do is really roll it around in your pan. That's the reason why I put the garlic in there, so it starts to pick up that garlic flavor, as well as the butter. Now, I'm not using grass-fed butter, so if you notice, the butter is not browning as quickly as it would be if I had used my Kerrygold butter. This week, I just didn't have any Kerrygold butter, so I used it that way. Now, to check on our chicken, it has been 25 minutes. So our chicken is done. Now, imagine if I put it in for another 15 minutes, that chicken would be nice and crispy and burnt. So that's another reason why I only put it in for 25 minutes. So now I'm taking out this first batch, and then I'm going to add my second batch to the same piece of aluminum foil. So you want to make sure that you don't like puncture your foil. And then I am going to finish up these couple pieces of chicken, and we're in the meantime going to make our sauce, which is our barbecue sauce. We're islanders, so we have to season even the barbecue sauce. So just keep that in mind. I have to laugh. We season everything, even salad. So that's what our chicken looks like right now. It is fully cooked, but we are still going to sauce it. So to make our sauce, I put some butter in my pan. Butter makes everything better. Yes. I also put a clove of garlic and some smashed ginger in the pan, just to kind of get my essence and seasonings going. I like ginger in my barbecue sauce. It gives it this really fresh taste. It just adds a hint of oomph to the sauce. Definitely try it. You'll see for yourself. It's not overpowering either. So I washed them and I just smashed them and put them in there because I didn't want it to be too small in pieces. I wanted to be able to pick it out of the sauce if I had to. Then I took my Sweet Ray's barbecue sauce and just squeezed it into my pan. You can choose whatever sauce you want, guys. I just adapted my way with Sweet Ray's. I like it. Kraft, whomever. Use whoever you want to use based on your taste. And then at that point, that's when I went ahead and stirred it up with the butter. But I don't like my sauce really thick. I like it to be spreadable or pourable. So then I also added a little bit of chicken stock to my sauce. You can use chicken stock, you can use water, you can use veggie stock, whatever stock you want to use. I just used some organic chicken stock and just added it to the barbecue sauce just to kind of thin it down a little bit. But of course, chicken stock is not going to make it where I will lose a lot of the flavor. So that's another reason why I use chicken stock. Measurement wise, it was about maybe half a cup of chicken stock to 1 bottle of Sweet Ray's. And then I did add a little bit of our Elite Eats jerk rub to the sauce to add a little bit of smokiness / spice and some black pepper. And that's really all. Now, if my mom or my dad was making this, they would also add ketchup. They add ketchup to barbecue sauce. It's everyone's choice. I mean, it's really by choice. Okay, you guys? So just keep that in mind. And then I just mix everything together, allow it to warm. I'm not cooking the sauce. I'm just warming the sauce and getting everything put together. And as you can tell, it's nice and runny, but not like water. That's a big thing. Okay, so our sauce is definitely ready now. It's nice and warm. All of our seasonings are in there and our freshness. So we just finished up all of the chicken in the air fryer. So now the chicken is ready to be sauced. And then we will put our chicken actually back in the air fryer after saucing it. And we just kind of go from there. So for the sauce, and I'm sorry, you guys, because I had to blow up my camera. Apparently, it filmed it in portrait and not landscape. And then, I forgot to also add, I poured the juices from the air fryer. So that juice that you see me pouring into the sauce, that is the juices from the chicken that was in the air fryer. Okay, so I just poured what was on the foil paper into my sauce to add even more flavor. And then we're going to now put that right back on the chicken. So on that piece of foil paper, all I did was put my chicken back into the air fryer on that same piece of foil. Okay. You don't want to keep changing your foil out, guys. If you puncture the foil, just put another piece of foil right under it. But you want to keep that piece of foil with that flavor on it, you guys. Okay. It has all the essence of everything on there. Even though it doesn't make a huge difference, for me, flavor building is very important. So you don't want to eliminate all the flavor that you already got in there. So I took my sauce and I took a brush and I just brushed my chicken with the barbecue sauce first. Even though we're going to pour the sauce all over the chicken anyway, I still wanted to brush it on the chicken to make sure that each individual piece had enough sauce. So I am so sorry that the camera is going in and out, but I'm using this cinematic mode, and every time I put my hand there, it just goes in and out. But you guys understand what we're doing, and I wanted you to see this so you could understand why I was doing what I was doing. I am brushing each piece of chicken with the sauce first, and then I will be pouring the remainder of the sauce on the chicken. Okay? Okay. Another way you can do this is you can actually take the chicken and use your tongs and dip it in the sauce if you use a big enough pot. If not, then you can do it while it's in the air fryer tray on the piece of foil and just move that chicken around and add your sauce. And everything for the chicken is done in the air fryer. Like, I didn't have to put it in the oven. I didn't do any of that stuff. I did everything in the air fryer on purpose, because you want to make it like a easy peasy kind of meal, and you don't use a lot of dishes. It didn't require me to use a lot of anything. So that's another reason why I like the air fryer. One con that I will say about using the air fryer, if you don't know how to maneuver around it being an air fryer to keep the moisture in your food could potentially dry out a lot faster than you were doing it in the oven. So definitely keep aluminum foil handy. Definitely understand your heat settings of the air fryer, and that will help you out in the long run of understanding how to use it. And don't always depend on the settings that the air fryer has. Those are universal settings. So really base it on what you're doing and your air fryer. And then at the end, I took a piece of foil and I just put it on top of the chicken to create like a cocoon so that it would finish cooking for about 2 to 3 minutes. So I wanted to test out my plating. I'm working on my plating, you guys, so just bear with me. So I put some rice in a cup because I wanted to mold the rice. And at first, of course, it came out nice and good. It was good. But my rice did end up collapsing after I put it in the plate when I went to go put the sauce. So that was something that was kind of like, ugh, it hurt my feelings. But at the same time, the meal still came out great. And then I was plating our asparagus plate because some of us eat rice, some of us don't in the house. So I'll have like a veggie plate with just veggies, no starch. And then I'll have the plate with the starch. So that's why I did both plates for you guys, so you can see my plating. Don't judge my plating, you guys. I'm still learning how to really plate my food nice and pretty. But I like cooking. So, okay. All right. For the rice, I use jasmine rice. I don't use parboiled rice. I like jasmine long grain rice. I think it tastes better. Shout outs to my husband because he's the one that started making us use jasmine rice rather than just standard rice. I like jasmine rice. Okay, so for the plate with the veggies, which is just the asparagus, I went ahead and took the asparagus and put it on the middle of the plate to create like a bed. And then we put our barbecue chicken right on top of it. The asparagus plate was so pretty to me. Both plates were pretty, but the asparagus plate was prettier. So I want you guys to kind of comment. Tell me what you guys think about today's recipe. Tell me what you guys thought about my plating. It's in the works, you guys. So I'm still learning my plating. And I struggled with my chicken staying in one spot because I wanted it to look like Food Network kind of chicken. But it didn't really work out. She was being very stubborn. But I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please, 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 if you're new to our Elite Total Body Care channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know when we post new videos. And this is the finished product of our food. They both came out really, really good. I was really happy with both plates. Of course, my favorite was the asparagus plate, but yeah. But thanks for watching, you guys. Peace out.